Let me turn it over next to E.J. So. E.J. is one of the alums of which we are particularly proud. He's from the class of 2005. He now works for Target, and he's a buyer for the domestics division in Target. So with no further ado, E.J., please.
Thank you. Every time Jim would say these smart people and point back at the faculty behind me, I'd like to pretend that I'm part of them, but really I just buy towels and rugs for Target. So let me help you save money. Just continue to shop at Target. I'd appreciate that. I got to start by saying this is really exciting for me. Standing up here, the last time I was up here, gosh, it had to be May 2005, the commencement ceremony. I was presenting Christine Davis with an award on behalf of the graduating class. And that was, I don't know, 28 months ago. And I feel today the same that I did back then, honored and proud. So I do want to thank Lisa, Christine, the Kelley MBA program for having me back here today. So first and foremost, congratulations. I think some of you don't even realize what you've done. This is a really hard program to get into. It is one of the toughest curriculums in the country. For each and every one of you, there are 5, maybe 6 people that aren't here, weren't able to get into the Kelley School. It is a tough program. And over the next couple of years, you'll probably find that out. And if you think about it, and if you follow rankings, I certainly do, look at where we are. Look at how strong the school is. Look at what you've bought yourselves into. Entrepreneurship, for example. That program is past the likings of USC's Marshall, and Berkeley's Haas, Michigan's Ross, and Texas's McCombs. We are one of the top schools in the country. Now, I'm not here to sell you on the program because you've already bought into it. But what I am here to do today is to share some experiences and tell you a couple of things that I hope you'd like to keep in the back of your mind as you move through the program. In about 72 hours from now, you'll be immersed in one of the most difficult in the country. I hope you're ready for it. Well, you laugh now, but sometimes late at night I still wake up and I say, I have neither given nor received unauthorized aid on this deliverable. He'll do it too. It's tough, and Kelley will continue to expect the best from you. They'll push you. They'll demand a lot, and you know what you'll do? You'll return it. They'll push you to the point of exhaustion, and in some parts of the program will push you beyond that. And when you finally take a step back, that breather, and you put your hands on your knees, they'll push you some more, and they'll ask for more. That's the way it is, and that's what you bought into, but I will tell you that in 2 years, it will all be worth it. When you graduate, about 1/5 of you will go on to your careers from where you came, but about 80% of you will go on to new careers. And based on the current profile, about 100 of you will go into finance, about 75 will go into marketing, I don't know, 40 in consulting, 20 in operations. It'll be a really fun time when the program's over, but as with every journey, there will be some challenges along the way. Statistically speaking, a couple of you may not finish the program. But I will promise you that everybody in this room, when you walk out those doors, will be better prepared, you'll be stronger, you'll be smarter, and you'll be well equipped for your career. I promise you that. So, how did I get here? Boy, to say that I was thorough in my MBA search would be an understatement. 27, I think, was the number of programs that I visited. Took a trip to the East Coast. 9 schools I walked into in 7 days. And in the Midwest, well, I did those all in day trips. Ohio State, Michigan State, Illinois, Michigan. And then in Chicago, where I'm from, it was DePaul, Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management, Chicago GSB, and of course, I came up to Kelley. But I remember that day like it was yesterday. Steve Netter, that was his name. He was a second-year MBA student, part of the Student Admissions Council. And as we walked through the business school, and he took me through the classrooms, we navigated our way through the cohort rooms, the breakout rooms. He took me to the student lounge. All the while, he was telling me why he came to Kelley, the faculty, the curriculum, the caliber of the employees that come to visit, people like you and people like you. That was amazing. And as we stood there at the student lockers, I knew, as he was describing his pre- and post-MBA plans, that I had found 2 weeks later, I sent in my application, and my 12-month search had come to an abrupt end. I found my school. At least I thought I did until Holman put me on the wait list for a couple months. 60 days, I didn't sleep, I didn't eat. Thanks, Jim. But then I got a letter. My number had been called. Sent in my deposit the next day, and now my search had come to an abrupt end. Until the university said that they lost my deposit check. Found out when a letter came in the mail, told me that I was going to lose my place in line, so I ran to the bank, got another check, sent it certified this time, $10 I'll never see again. And now my search had come to an abrupt end. I don't know, 6 months later, I found myself sitting in one of these auditoriums listening to a second-year student talk about his experiences. And the thing that he kept saying to us was, just remember, it's going to fly by. It's going to fly by is what he kept saying. Man, was he right. So like he did that day, here I am to tell you some things that I hope you keep in mind as you move through the program. 3 to be exact. Number 1, experience as much as you can. I tried to divulge myself. I tried to find everything I could about the MBA program. I tried to be part of it all. Student Admissions Council, Kelley Marketing Club, Kelley Toastmasters Club. I tried to do as much as I can as a GA, as a student, but then I did things outside of the classroom, outside of the building. I volunteered at different case competitions, be it across the street or across the country. I'd volunteer at different Kelley events, the chapter events when they come to my hometown during holiday breaks. I even grabbed 9 other guys, we hopped in 2 minivans, and we drove out to Darden, University of Virginia, and we represented Kelley at the MBA softball tournament. 10 guys in 2 minivans, 13 hours of driving. But that's what I did because I wanted to be immersed in the program, and I think you should too. Now, the nucleus of this MBA program is by far the curriculum. I'm not taking away from that. I'd also argue that developing soft skills is important too. But as you're doing this, as you're learning about these properties, find those experiences and find out what's outside the classroom, what's outside the brick walls of the Kelley School. It is just a building with a hell of a lot of talent inside, but find out what else is there. Experience as much as you can. Number 2, try not to lose your identity. I don't know, I look out here and I see marketers and future financial analysts, consultants, but there's more than that. I see athletes. I see readers. I see travelers. I see brothers, fathers, mothers. That's what makes you the individual. Think about what you wrote in your essay. What separated you from everybody else? And try not to lose that identity while you're here. Believe me, it'll be easy. I did. Fell out of stride. Became the student and nothing else. When I got here, I was a volunteer soccer coach, little girl soccer, for about 4 years. I was also a triathlete. That was in 2003. Next week will be my first game on the soccer pitch. And next year, my first of 2 half Ironmans. That'll be 4, maybe 5 years since I did my last race. It is easy to lose yourself. You buy into this program, and this is what you're here for. It's what you signed up for. But try not to lose that identity. Gosh, it's so important. You'll be glad that you did. And then number 3, meet the people around you. They will become definitively and endlessly your network on which you'll rely. Spring break, my second year, grabbed a couple of international students. Andreas from Costa Rica, Soo-Kyun from Korea. We hopped in a 27-foot RV. 21 days, we took them to 6 national parks. That was incredible. If I could for a moment just tell you a quick story. I remember standing on Angel's Landing in Zion National Park in Utah. There's nothing but red rocks around you. Suk and I were at about 8,000 feet. Looked straight down about 1,000 feet. I was standing next to this woman who 18 months before that, I didn't know who she was. And we operated on separate sides of the earth. And now here she is, one of my closest friends I took from this program. But the friends and the network that you build, they're not just limited to those in the classroom. When I got in last night, one of the first things I did is I drove by the house of one of my professors. I knew he wasn't home, but he's become a friend of mine. Wanted to just pass by, see his house. I remember it from when I was a student. Boy, we used to talk on the phone and share stories. Both have a love for running. We both have a love for San Francisco. It's where I call home on the holidays. And we talk and laugh about a lot of things. He's become a good friend of mine. It was good, me going to his house to see that, because the last time I spoke to him, I don't know, February or March, he sounded so upbeat and positive. This man, by the way, is one of the best accounting professors out there. He is one of the best professors I think the Kelley School has ever had. And the last time I talked to Walt, my gosh, he was so positive. Everything's great, EJ, he said. Talked about his kids and his family. Talked about running, asked me what my splits were. Talked about all these good things that we had in common. And 2 weeks later, Walt passed away. I think you met Walt. I think Keith put up a big picture of him in orientation. I'm really glad to hear that he did. That's the network that you have. Walt will be with me, a friend of mine forever. I hope you remember to continually build your network. Now in a minute, I'll have an opportunity to introduce Hillary Heffernan. She's an MBA class of 2008, one of your classmates, and she's got a few things that she wants to say. But before I go, I hope you remember those 3 things. Number 1, experience as much as you can over the next 24 months. Number 2, try not to lose the identity of the person who you are. And number 3, that network. Meet the people around you. 2 years, folks, it'll fly. And this is it. Welcome to the big show. The curtain's up, the people are watching. What are you going to do in the 2 years that you're here at Kelley? Because before you know it, and trust me, it'll be soon, you will be standing up here, talking to a group of people, sharing your experiences, and proud to be an alumnus of the Kelley School of Business. I know I am. Thank you.